Okay, this is a revision of the laws of exponents, and I think it'd be really good for you to have these 5 laws here. Actually, everything with the laws of exponents is wrapped around these 5 laws here. I'm not going to go over all the examples. You need to look at it really close and make sense of these examples of these laws here. I'll just help you to remember them. When you multiply 2 things to the same base, you can write down the base and add the exponents. When you divide, you can write down the base and subtract the exponents. When you took a power and you put it to a power, you write down the base and you multiply the exponents. Now that's the 3 main ones. And the other one has to do with brackets. If you have a product, 2 things multiplied together and it's put to a power, that power will affect all the things that are being multiplied. If you have 3 or 5 things, each one would be put to this power. And you might have to apply this law. If you have a quotient and you put it to a power, the top and the bottom is put to that power. Okay, those are the important laws of exponents. Now, there's some things that arise out of the laws that actually aren't new, but they're really important to know. And I think there's 11 different things they put here. One of them is anything to the 0 power is 1. You just go back to that law and think, oh, if I had 2 things that were to the same base, to the same power, that'd be something divided by itself. It'd be 1. But then if I subtracted these numbers, I'd get 0. So that kind of almost proves it. And that's the deal. You can do all of these, figure out all of these things, go through it, take a close look at the example. 1 to any power is equal to 1. Anything to the negative power is 1 over that thing to the positive power. If it's not in a bracket, it's not affected. The A just stays there. If it is in a bracket, both things are put to the negative power, and it goes to the other side of the sign. If the negative's in the bottom, it goes to the top. The last laws, you need to look at this. I think every single person needs this sheet here because it's a really good sheet. You need to look at these all of these things and make sense of the examples over here. It's just applying the same thing again and again. If you have a negative in the bottom, it's 1 over that thing to the positive. Well, 1 over something, you tip in times, it comes to the top and becomes a positive. If you've got a negative exponent, you can put it on the other side of the dividing line and make it positive. When it's a bracket, it affects both things, so the whole thing goes up. This is one last one that's really good. If you've got a fraction and it's negative, well, it's 1 over that thing to the positive. Well, what does that mean? It means you should tip A over B. You can just turn it upside down. Well, that's sort of a summary of all the main things you need to know about exponents. I didn't go over all these examples here. You need to take a close look at them. And these examples here, you need to take a close look at the 5 main laws and the examples that are given here. And then I'm going to do some questions in the next video that go over the first questions that we're going to get too. Okay.